Utah's first TV station, ABC4 Utah, celebrating 70 years of being good for Utah.
She was a missionary taking a photo of this double rainbow in Australia. A few minutes later, the Utah woman was a patient in a hospital, and the prognosis for 20-year-old Kendal Levine wasn't good. In fact, some doctors said she'd never walk or talk or get out of bed. But she had other plans. Tonight, our special report, Can't Stop Kendal.
When I opened my car door, someone fell asleep and plowed right into me.
Kendal Levine wasn't breathing and unconscious. Fortunately, a young man who had just taken a first responders course a few weeks before came sprinting over from across the street.
Jacked the car up off of me, and then he threw me into recovery position. I threw up and started breathing.
Kendal, who was serving an LDS mission in Australia, was rushed to a local hospital in a coma with a severe brain injury and barely alive.
She wasn't breathing on her own. They had a ventilator. Her heart rate was crazy. Everything was going wrong. She had infections. She caught pneumonia.
Kendal's mother says doctors had to remove about a third of her skull because of brain swelling. After 4 weeks with no response, no voluntary movement, she was transported to a med center in Hawaii where her parents were living.
And her hand would constantly go like this just to grab on something, but it wasn't anything intentional. We'd tell her to put her thumb up, blink your eyes, Kendal, can you move your foot? And it was just a dead stare. The neurologist in charge said she's not going to get any better. She's not going to walk, talk, eat on her own.
Kendal didn't hear the doctor's diagnosis, or maybe she did, because when it looked like she was destined to live in a bed for the rest of her life, this happened.
Kendal, throw the ball. Let go of the ball. Turn your hand and throw the ball. Throw it. Good job.
It doesn't look like much, but it was everything. It meant she could hear and she could respond.
I made her do it again. I said, good job, Kendal. Do it again. Do it again.
The response allowed her to get into a rehab bed at the U of U hospital, where Kendal's recovery slowly began.
She's starting to kind of whisper some things after a few weeks. She's starting to move her head on her own. She was able to breathe on her own through her mouth. Eventually, they got the feeding tube out.
It took like 4 therapists to help me even stand up, take one step.
But Kendal was determined to get better. Watching her rehab is both inspiring and heartbreaking, especially when you know Kendal has been athletic all of her life. She even played college basketball. But she says she never let her failures and never let her frustrations get her down.
I don't think I've ever had those thoughts. I've always known that I was going to get better.
In a 3-minute news story, improvement seems dramatic and quick, but the reality is Kendal has been slowly getting better through several rehab sessions a week now for 3 years. One of her major accomplishments along the way, walking an entire mile during Ragnar.
It was probably the hardest mile I've ever walked in my life.
Kendal has inspired thousands of people. The Facebook page about her recovery has nearly 8,000 followers. Plus hundreds now come to see and hear her speak. But she says she also draws inspiration from them as well.
They always comment about how good I'm doing, how they're amazed, and that kind of gives me extra boosts to keep going.
She is grateful for the support of friends and strangers, but even more thankful for the sacrifices made by her mother and father.
They've done everything. They gave up their life in Hawaii to bring me back to Utah. Because if I was in Hawaii, I wouldn't be getting the recovery that I get here.
That's because Kendal does a rehab at NeuroWorks, a nonprofit therapy center. And the 23-year-old gets time with therapists beyond what insurance covers.
Keep your balance. Beautiful.
NeuroWorks co-founder and therapist Jan Black says Kendal's efforts and recovery have been amazing.
Her protective responses are 100% different. We went from falling over to actually making those steps to keeping herself from falling.
And Kendal isn't done recovering.
I want to get up and do stuff again like I used to.
And along the way, she hopes she inspires others to overcome their challenges as well.
Hard things do happen, but you can always overcome those things when you work hard. You're not going to get better just sitting in one spot and just hoping and praying that things will just magically happen. You just have to put forth the effort and the work to get better.
Now, Kendal, of course, wants to recover for herself and life, but she wants to get better so she can go back and actually finish her LDS mission in Australia and also say thank you in person to the young man who saved her the day of her accident. For more video of her therapy sessions, a link to her Facebook page, more information about NeuroWorks therapy, go to goodforutah.com and check out the story.